What if the great civilizations we revere, Egypt, Sumer, the Indus, Atlantis, were not the beginning, but the echo? What if, long before pyramids touched the sky, long before glyphs etched memory onto stone, there were beings who whispered fire into the clay of man, not gods, not men, but the hidden ones. They move through myth like shadows at dusk, present yet unseen. They wear 1,000 names, yet none define them. The keepers of the flame, the builders of the blueprint, the watchers, the shining ones, the secret teachers of humanity. But who were they? And why do they remain hidden? Let us spiral back, not in time, but in awareness, into a mystery that coils like the serpent on Pharaoh's crown, ancient and eternal. In the blackened womb of the void, before history was carved into calendars, mankind looked to the stars, not for direction, but for remembrance. And in that deep stargazing silence, stories began to form. Stories of luminous beings descending upon Earth, not in chariots of fire, but as whispers in the DNA, coders of consciousness. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, those who came from the heavens to shape kingship and cities. But what if heaven was not just a place above, but a state of mind? A higher octave of awareness that these hidden ones carried like torches? Egypt, too, remembers, not through words, but through symbols, timeless, dream-wrapped hieroglyphs. In the temples of Dendera and Edfu, the walls sing of the Shemsu Hor, followers of Horus, a priest-king lineage said to predate even the first dynasties. They were not mortal in the way we understand. They lived hundreds of years, walked with gods, and passed down the secret science of the soul. Who taught them? Who taught the Mayans to track the precession of the equinoxes without telescopes? Who taught the Vedic sages of India the complex geometry of consciousness embedded in the Sri Yantra? Every culture echoes the same silent hymn. There were teachers before time, and they did not teach in words. To trace the footprints of the hidden ones, we must not follow history, but mythos. The stories speak in riddles, cloaked in metaphor. Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great, said, "As above, so below, as within, so without." This was not poetry, it was a code, a mirror. The alchemists knew it. They saw history not as a timeline, but as a spiral, an Ouroboros devouring its tail. Humanity looping through ages of gold, silver, iron, and darkness. Each turn of the spiral a chance to awaken or forget. In this vision, the hidden ones are not just ancient visitors. They are the memory of light within us, the part of the soul that recalls where we come from. In Hindu cosmology, they are the rishis, seers who receive divine knowledge not from reading, but from attuning their minds to the Akasha, the etheric field where all truths reside. They didn't write books, they became the Vedas. In Gnostic tradition, they are the aeons, emanations of divine wisdom. Sophia, the divine feminine, who in her descent births both the cosmos and the illusion. Gnosis, hidden knowledge, is their gift. But it cannot be given, it must be remembered. In the Hermetic path of alchemy, we see their fingerprint again. The great work is not about turning lead into gold. It is a transmutation of the self from the nigredo, the blackened chaos of unknowing, through the albedo, purification, and the rubedo, spiritual rebirth, a deathless resurrection, a phoenix from its own ash. And who oversees this inner initiation? The hidden ones. They are the silent initiators, the teachers who do not teach but ignite. Let's walk through their sacred symbolism. The serpent, feared yet sacred. In every tradition, the serpent is the spine, the kundalini, the path to awakening. Moses lifted the serpent in the wilderness. The Pharaoh wore it on his brow. Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, was said to return in times of great change. What was he returning to teach? Perhaps not new truths, but truths we have forgotten. The eye of Horus, of Ra, of Providence, is not just vision, it is perception beyond the veil. To see with the eye that does not sleep, the pineal gland, the cosmic antenna, the gateway to remembering the hidden ones within us, the labyrinth, the spiral of the self. You do not enter it to get lost. You enter it to find the center. And what is at the center? The self, undivided, eternal, hidden all along. But why hide? Why remain in shadows while the world burns with amnesia? Because this is the game, the sacred drama, the myth that must play itself again and again until the seeker no longer seeks outwardly. They hide because they are not outside us. The secret teachers are not just aliens, angels, or ancient astronauts. They are archetypes, encoded blueprints of consciousness seated deep within every human. They are the architect, the mystic, the warrior, the sage. They are Isis calling your soul back from dismemberment. They are Prometheus bringing fire, knowing he will be punished. They are Krishna whispering the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the heart of your own battlefield. And when you awaken to that inner voice, that knowing without knowing, you have heard the hidden ones speak, not with sound, but with resonance. There's an old saying among initiates, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. But what if the teacher was never gone? What if they have been watching, not with eyes, but with presence, waiting for you to remember not them, but yourself? This is the sacred loop, the spiral that is not linear. Every age that ends is the womb of a new age. We are now standing in the ashes of a forgetting. Technology rises, truth is commodified, spirit is distracted. And yet, beneath the noise, a quiet remembering begins. A new generation feels the call, not to escape the world, but to redeem it through inner alchemy. The secret teachers are returning, not in ships, but in dreams, in synchronicities, in the questions that won't let you sleep, in the ancient symbols that stir something in your blood. They do not bring dogma, they bring mirrors. They do not demand belief. They call for gnosis, a knowing that is intimate, embodied, and unshakable. So, who were the hidden ones? Maybe they were never people. Maybe they were never outside of you. Maybe they were always the blueprint of what you are becoming, a soul in remembrance, a God playing human, a spiral returning to its center. And the deeper question is not who they were, but who you are when you remember them. This is not the end of the story. This is the beginning of your initiation. Will you walk the path? Will you heed the symbols? Follow the serpent, enter the labyrinth, face the mirror? The hidden ones are not lost. They are simply awaiting your return. If this stirred something ancient in you, something unnamed but familiar, don't let it fade. Like, subscribe and explore more journeys on this channel. There are more mysteries to uncover, more myths to reawaken. Follow the links below for the full map of the spiral. And until then, remember, the teacher is already within. Let the initiation begin.